Welcome to Loco Gringo, Mexico, where we can take you beyond the usual on your vacation. Each week we talk with amazing locals who know the Riviera Maya and Yucatan like only locals can. Get real tips to real places, insights on the local scene, culture, and cuisine from a local's perspective. So pour yourself a margarita, mezcal, or tequila, grab yourself a comfy chair, and let's get the show going.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Loco Gringo, Mexico. My name is Kay Walton. I'm your host. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to be talking to Andrea Gallo. And Andrea is originally from New York City, and she had a career in the fashion industry and worked with brands such as Ralph Lauren, Old Navy, and The Gap. And like many people, Andrea felt a calling, and that calling was from Tulum, and she decided to make Tulum her home. But she's not working in fashion any longer. She is the founder of the Razamatiza Pet Project here in Tulum, which is an animal welfare program specifically for dogs. She's going to give us some information on that. She is also the creative director and owner of Matiza Malas and mala making workshops. And proceeds from her workshops and her malas go to her Razamatiza Pet Project. And I also had a chance to talk to Andrea about some of the favorite things she loves to do and what she suggests that you shouldn't miss out on while you're here visiting the area. This episode is brought to you by Playa. You know, lots of people ask us for information and help when it comes to real estate, whether they're looking for retirement, an investment property, or maybe they're looking to relocate to the area. And we refer them over to our friends at Playa. The folks at Playa we've known for years, and they'll make sure that you, the buyer, are fully protected and informed when it comes to buying real estate. So if you're looking to buy a piece of paradise, check out our friends at buyplaya.com. Andrea, good morning. Buenos dias. How are you?
Good morning, Kay. I'm fine. Thank you.
Andrea, I gotta ask you, how does a girl from New York end up in Tulum?
Well, I needed a break from New York. And so I came to Tulum for a little rest and relaxation and enjoyed the beach and never wanted to leave.
And when did you come down here?
My first time I came to Tulum was 2006.
Oh, a while back ago.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it about Tulum? I mean, there's lots of beautiful beaches, both on the Yucatan Peninsula and on the Pacific coast of Mexico. But what was it about the Tulum area that just called to you and you decided to make that home?
I kept reading about it. And in magazines and other publications, and I had never taken a warm weather vacation before, and I just had a feeling that I needed to go to Tulum and experience it. So I did.
And you were in fashion in New York, right?
Yes, I was. I was a designer, designed outerwear, sweaters, outerwear, cold weather.
And you go to an area where we don't necessarily need a whole lot of clothes.
Exactly. Exactly. And I was a snowboard instructor as well. So I had a very cold weather winter life before coming to Tulum.
And what did you have a plan when you decided to move to Tulum? Did you have a plan on what you were going to do? Because your life here in Mexico is much different than what you had in New York.
No, there was no plan, and there was really no decision. I kept coming on short-term basis, and I would come for 1 month, and then 2 months, 3 months, and each time I came, I just stayed longer and longer until I was permanent here.
And what have you found to be some of the challenges? I mean, so many people I know, so many of our listeners think about, oh God, I wish I could, pack up and move to the Caribbean, to Mexico, or to an island. What were some of the things that you thought were the most difficult in transitioning from living in the United States to living here in Mexico?
Well, first, dealing with the legalities, dealing with immigration and getting a work visa, and that aspect of it was challenging. It was exciting, and a lot of lessons were learned. And then also culturally, really learning to understand what was happening here and being a part of it, instead of just going on what you knew from back home. And about Tulum is that it's very international. And there's people from all over the world, as well as the local Mayan culture. So it's really a great place to live.
Now, everybody always asks this question for people they meet who live in the area. Did you speak Spanish before you came?
No. And I still do not speak it very well.
And do you take class in not speaking very well? Do you take classes, or are you just more conversational? I mean, even me, I have 25 years here, and my Spanish is not perfect, and I'm ashamed of that, but it's the reality.
Well, when I was first here and had a lot of free time and it was more vacation being here, I did take a lot of Spanish classes, group classes, private classes. And so I learned a lot, but I feel like I never really learned it properly. Mm-hmm. And I'm also a visual learner, so that was also challenging. So even though hearing it every day, I still wasn't able to pick it up.
Mm. Now, what do you do for a living here? I know that the fashion industry here in the Tulum area definitely is not what you experienced in New York. So what do you do here in Tulum now?
Well, when I first moved to Tulum, I started teaching yoga. And that was a great way to make a living. And I really met a lot of people and worked with tourists and worked at a lot of resorts. And I expanded on that. I miss designing. I miss being creative and shopping for materials. And I started to do mala making workshops. And I don't know if you know what a mala bead is, but it's a prayer bead, basically. And in yoga, it's a tool used for meditation. And they're very trendy right now, so they're pretty much everywhere. But when I first was here, they weren't anywhere. So I started making them and offering workshops to yoga groups, yoga teacher trainings, and anybody that wanted to make one. So it was a way to combine designing with yoga.
Wow, that's fascinating. And you still do workshops to this day?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I really, really enjoy it because a lot of people don't have a lot of creativity in their life. So it's something simple that they can do and be creative and accomplish something. And then they have something pretty to wear. And if they choose, they can start a meditation and a mantra chanting practice, which changes your life as well. So it's it's good. It's been really an amazing journey.
And who do you find? I mean, do you have a lot of visitors to the area? I mean, you're specifically looking at yoga workshops and instructor groups, or can people who are coming just down on vacation sign up and participate in one of your classes or workshops?
No, anybody can take a workshop. Just because I have connections and yoga, it's great to do with yoga teacher training. So most of my clients are yoga groups, but anybody can do it. Mm-hmm.
And I know from looking at your website is that you're also very involved with the community and specifically your pet project.
Yes. I am. I've always rescued animals my whole life, and living here, as you know, there's a lot of need to, especially dogs, to help dogs. So I've been very involved with that, and I combine the two. I combine my business to support the dog rescue. So it's together. So they benefit each other.
Now, I know a lot of our listeners, and we have a lot of people who are dog and cat fans. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are familiar. You've got in Playa del Carmen, there's Coco's Animal Welfare. With the Pet Project in Tulum, you're not a big group. You're kind of you're kind of a grassroots organization and project, correct?
Exactly. Yep. We have a few people that work with me that foster dogs, and then we get the dogs to the vet. We get any medical needs, anything they need. We basically get that for them, and training, food, and then we send them to the U.S. and or Canada.
Oh, that's fabulous. So let me ask you this: do you need? How can people, visitors to the area or people who are just listening, how can they get involved with helping you and your organization and helping the dogs of Tulum who could use some loving care?
Well, because we don't have a physical space here in Tulum, and there's no animal shelter with the municipal, the local government. There's nothing. There's no service for animals here at all. It's really up to individuals. If someone's a tourist, one of the biggest things we look for, and it's actually really fun and it's a great project, we look for people when they fly home if they want to escort a dog or flight volunteer. There's many terms to call it, but basically you'll be checking in a dog with you when you go home, like a luggage, and you can transport it. And then at the other end, it's picked up and it either goes to foster or a rescue or it's adopted. So we work with major cities mostly, like Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, New York, Portland, Chicago. So if you're from any of those areas, you can help transport a dog when it's ready to go on to its next step.
And what about people who may be listening who are from one of those cities and would like to adopt?
Oh, yeah, they can. They can submit an application. And they can meet the dog and they can adopt it. Sure, absolutely.
Oh,
yeah, so
that's awesome.
Adopting and, of course, donating helps as a tourist.
That's great. And for everybody who's listening, we're going to have on our show notes today, we're going to have some information. So you can get in touch with Andrea if you want to bring an animal back to the U.S. or Canada, or perhaps you want to adopt, and of course to donate. So we'll have that. How has being involved with your pet project, do you have an idea of how many dogs you're able to assist over the course of a year?
It really depends whether they're puppies or adult dogs. It depends. Most adult dogs that we take in, we can get maybe 10 to 20 out a month. But it really depends. Each rescue is so different and so individual. If it's a litter of puppies, then that's easier to transport out. But I would say, like on average in a year, I don't know, maybe close to 100 dogs. But really, again, it's
amazing.
It's very, yeah, and we have an amazing network up and down the coast from Tulum all the way to Cancun. We have a lot of people that help animals, and we all help each other because there really is not much support like you would find in the States or in Canada. So we, it's a really good network of people. So.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations on being able to assist so many animals and giving them a better life.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so rewarding to see a dog, where it originates from, and with a little effort, a little money, and a little coordination to see it, within 24 hours, just be in a completely different circumstance.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's kudos to you and everybody involved for those pups down there in Tulum. That's awesome. I have a question for you. It's one of the things that I ask everybody who's on the show is I wanted to find out about some of the places or things that you really love, aside from the pups. Some of the things that really you just love to indulge in while you're here, you have off time, and that you would recommend to people.
Okay, well, I still, and it sounds very obvious, but the simplicity of the beach, really, for me, there's nothing more healing than the beach in Tulum. It's just something very special and energetic and magical about it, and the ocean, of course, and really taking a long beach walk is so healing and so nurturing that I've never experienced anywhere else. And I've been to other beaches, but Tulum is special. So it's very basic. But also for me, the biosphere and the lagoon. I just love the lagoon. And I find that a lot of tourists that come here don't even know that we have a lagoon here. A lot of people do, but also a lot of people don't. And taking a tour in the lagoon, whether the floating tour or doing SUP yoga, it's really magical. And it's really simple, but that's what I love about Tulum is the simplicity. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It's really just like the beauty of nature and the energy of being here.
Now you mentioned SUP yoga, and Since I practice yoga, I know what that is. But can you explain for our listeners what SUP yoga is, and if they need experience or how they might be able to try it?
Yes, stand-up paddleboard yoga is what SUP yoga means, and you need to do it on flat water, smooth water. Sometimes you could do it in the ocean, but usually there's waves. So in our lagoon, there's a couple of people that do SUP yoga, but Nancy Kidd, she's the person that does SUP yoga, and I can give you the contact information for her. But basically, you book anytime you go in the biosphere, you have to I guess have permission sort of to be there, and you can organize a tour with her. You can do a class, all-day class, group class, individual class, and you do yoga on a big paddleboard on the water.
And is it difficult? I mean, can people I mean, I have lousy balance and I haven't tried it, so I'm a little nervous. I mean, is it really difficult, or can novices get involved with an activity like this? Because I know the lagoon's beautiful, and I could imagine that it would be really peaceful and quiet. There's no boats or anything.
Exactly. No, it's the paddle board is large. It's, I don't know the dimensions of it, but it's probably like 10 feet long. So you have a big surface area. So if you've never done it before, you can try it. And basically it's challenging. Absolutely. But like anything, if you're a beginner, you just go slow and you start slow and you work with it. And if you fall off, the lagoon is not that deep, you can touch. So, yeah, and it's really amazing because it's yoga, so you're doing your yoga poses, your yoga asanas, but you're on the water, so you have the movement of the water, and it's very special.
Does anybody ever fall in?
Yeah, of course.
I have to ask. I just imagine the yogis are all perfect out there, and they're doing a headstand, and nobody's falling over.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't fall, but no, and I always feel even in yoga, on a yoga mat in a studio, no, I think pushing your edge and going to the edge where you do fall is all part of it. And that's part of the experience.
So I would bet there's some laughter in that. So that's a kind of form of laughter yoga too, as people are kind of tipping over into the drink.
Absolutely.
Now, where would you recommend in getting in? I mean, I know there's a few places to get into the lagoon, but where are some of your favorite or some of the easier access places you would recommend for people if they want to go and check out the lagoon and the biosphere? Do you recommend they go down in through the entrance to the biosphere, or to go in through Muil? What's your personal favorite place to get into?
Well, no, definitely from the highway in Tulum, from 307 in town south, there is an entrance. There's a parking lot. It's probably 3 kilometers south of Tulum. And there's an entrance and there's a parking lot, and you park, and there's a fee to pay, and there's a pier. And you can experience the lagoon there, or you can go a little further south by Muil and book a tour. And then you go with a boat captain and you go into the Ancient Mayan Trading Routes through the mangroves. And at one point of the tour, you actually go in the water and you float through them. It's called a floating tour. So there's that as well, depending on time and resources. So yeah.
Very fun, very fun. Aside from the lagoon, do you have any other places and that you think people really miss when they come down here? I mean, so many people talk about, oh, you got to go to the ruins, or, Shell Ha to go snorkeling. But are there any other places that you would say that are really kind of hidden gems that people are really missing out on, and they should carve out some time to check out while they're here?
Also, the cenotes at the Coba Ruins. I know a lot of people don't know there's 3 cenotes there. I love to climb the Coba Ruins and then swim in the cenotes there.
Yeah, they're very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's excellent. Any other favorites that you want to share, or even some of those places that maybe you don't want to share, you'd be willing to give up some secret information on that you kind of keep to yourself that I could get you to tell?
No, I can't think of anything.
Restaurants? Anything in Tulum that you would call your fave?
I love to eat. I love Posada Margarita still. I think it's one of the best restaurants here. The real coconut at Sonora is amazing. Mangalore pizza.
I know. I love Posada Margarita. I haven't been in a while, but it's always good.
Yeah, between the food, of course, is exceptional, but the service too. And it's on the ocean side, which is nice. Like everything about it, I love. And every time I have visitors, it's the first restaurant I always take them to.
No, it's definitely, and it's really great for special occasions. I've gone there where it's been, there's been celebration of some sort, and they make sure that it's a very special evening out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
How can people best reach out to you, whether that's to sign up for a mala workshop or to get involved with your pet project?
Okay, so either email or Instagram would be the best way to get in touch with.
Or Instagram. Okay, great. We'll make sure we put in today's show notes your links over for your email and your Instagram. Perfect. And anything else that you would recommend that you'd like to, while we've got everybody's tuned in today, that you want to get across to people about, whether it's your pet project or the area?
No, just being aware when coming to Tulum, and really just while people are here, just really taking the time to slow down and unplug and get off the phone and really just feel the essence of Tulum. Whether it's the beach or cenote or the Mayan ruins, like really just feeling it. And and also experiencing the local Mayan population as well. And just exploring in town and in the neighborhoods.
Oh, it's great advice for sure, because I think too many times people get too caught up in the go, do routine and plan every single minute, and they kind of miss the whole purpose of what vacation is all about.
Right, exactly.
Yep. Wonderful. Well, Andrea, thank you so much for being on the show today. And I'd love for you to keep us abreast of anything going on with your pet project, because everybody here at Loco Gringo, we love the animals, and anything we can do to help support you. We hear, if you've got some information you'd like to get out, we'd love to, be in touch with you and help support all your great efforts in the Tulum community.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes, I will keep you informed.
Excellent. Thanks once again.
Thank you.
Well, are you inspired now to move down here? Do you want to move down here and have a little place of your own? Well, then you need to talk to our friends at Bai Playa. They have a friendly and knowledgeable international staff. They speak lots of languages, and they are known as being a buyer's agent. Well, what does that mean? That means they are only going to show you and sell you properties they know that have escrituras. An escritura is a title. And it's part of their due diligence to make sure the title is clear, there's no liens, and that the person who's selling the property is actually the owner. Bai Playa works with lawyers that specialize in fideicomisos, which is a Mexican trust. You may have heard of it already before. And they can address things such as capital gains problems immediately and right up front, so that you have no surprises along the way to closing. So contact our friends at Bai Playa at baiplaya.com. Well, thanks for tuning in today, everybody. But before you take off, just a reminder to today's show notes. We're located at locogringo.com/podcasts, and we will have links over to Andrea's Instagram accounts and her email address if you'd like to find out more information about the Raza Mestiza Pet Project, or get a little more information about the Mestiza Malas and Mala making workshops. If you're headed down to this area or thinking about coming down this winter, we invite you to visit our website, locogringo.com, and we have a professional team of people who are here to help you have an experience of a lifetime and really have an authentic experience during your time here in the Riviera Maya and Yucatan.
Thanks for listening. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe. For links, show notes, and more information, head on over to locogringo.com or give us a call toll-free at 800-478-0081.
Porque se tragó la luna, estaba enferma la rana. Su madre soba que soba, dedos de pluma la panza. Pensó ranita que luna era una toronja blanca. Y aunque la luna es de leche, la leche estaba cortada. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma. Croa, croa, dedos de agua. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma.